So you've brought Elite controller for the Xbox One and you don't know what to do with it, how to configure it, what buttons to press, what to map where. Well, let's take a look and see if we can give you some tips on that. How's it going, YouTubers? Cornwolf here. Thank you for joining me for another video today. And today we've got a look at the setup for the Xbox One Elite controller. I know I'm a little bit late doing this, but as you all know, I've been moving and busy and blah 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 blah. But we're getting to it now. I've had plenty of time to have a go with the controller and just find out different things about it. Still really loving it. It's just different with different games, which is great. So you can adapt it. So let's get straight to it. The first thing you need to do once you've obviously got the controller is download the Xbox Accessories app. You can find that in the App Store if it doesn't automatically download once you start loading up the controller, but it does tell you how to do that in the instructions for the controller. Anybody that hasn't got the Elite controller that is watching this, you can also download this and you can change the buttons around yourself. I know there are quite a few people that are left-handed hands to use the controller, and not all games offer a lefty version, so with this, even with the standard controller, you can swap that around to lefty. So let's launch the app and we'll go from there. So I have got my Xbox One Elite controller now. I've called my controller Chuck, that's just what my wife wanted to call it. If you go to more options at the start, that's where you can explore a name. Name is the name, just so you can find it if you need to, or find out what's connected. And in Explore, it just takes you through all the different bits and bobs about the controller, which you'll already know. So go to more options, configure, and this is where it's really going to get into the meat of the controller, if you like. So the first thing you can see here is you've got slot 1 and slot 2. You might have these as empty or unassigned, and basically what that is if you flick it left, for me it'll go to my Forza setup. If I flick it right, it'll go across to Destiny, and as you just saw on the screen there, it actually makes that red. If I flick it back to the left, it goes grey, but if I go up to Forza, it goes to red, and then flick it across and it knows it's gone to a different profile. But you've also got lots of different profiles down here that are pre-done. So you've got the Forza one there, a couple of Forzas, a couple of Gears of Wars, there's quite a few for Halo, and then just the one there for Sunset Overdrive. So what we'll do is we will go in and I'll just show you roughly how to set up a configuration. So we'll do a new one there, so you click OK on there, and we'll just call this one YouTube. That's what we're doing it for. So just do that, and what it will have done, there you go, it just popped up at the top there. So by default, both paddles, it shows that you've got all 4 paddles on, and they have been mapped to X, A, B and Y. So let's go into here, and then you're presented with lots of options. The last 3, you can rename it, you can copy it and you can delete it. So if you wanted a setup for different first person shooters or different driving games, but you want to tweak them a little bit, you can copy it, paste it into a new one, and then that will allow you to change it. So if you wanted to use a similar controller style, if you like, for Need for Speed as you do Forza Motorsport 6, then you can copy it, and then you've got exactly the same, and then you can just make those tweaks if you quite like a certain setup for driving. So let's go up to the top. Okay, so we'll go into button mapping first. So if we go on button mapping, and what you want to do is you want to select the button that you want to configure on your controller. So in this instance, I want to do the top right paddle, so it's upper right paddle, that one, and I want to map that to my right stick clicking. There you go. So on Battlefront, I want to be able to press the right paddle and that will hit someone. So rather than having to click the thumbstick in if I haven't got my finger on that button, or sometimes I find the clicking in a little bit clunky, I can actually tap that right paddle and that will hit someone. I tend to put the melee on those and grenade throws and things like that, purely because they're normally the clunky buttons that you can't reach. So for first person shooters, anything that isn't A, B, Y and X, and obviously the triggers will be the triggers, so there's no real change, no need to change those, but you could swap them around if you wanted to. So if you prefer to shoot with your left hand and aim with your right, you can do that. But anything else other than that that isn't quickly accessible, I will assign to the flappy paddles, and basically that's what it's for. So if you wanted to assign more things to the D-pad, so if you wanted let's put up on the D-pad, and you wanted that as the left bumper, that's it, it's done, and it tells you exactly what you've configured. So anything that isn't highlighted, you haven't changed on the controller. So it's pretty simple. You need to go into the game, you need to find out what the game is doing when you're pressing certain buttons, just so you know exactly that if you press this, it will do this. It's fairly simple, and once you know, so basically go into like a free play mode, practice mode, or whatever, and go, okay, I like that. Then you can kind of almost come in and out of the app and change it on the fly. So that's the button mapping. So I'm just going to click done on there, and that will save that random setup that we've done there. Sticks, triggers and vibration is next. The left stick and the right stick, basically what you can do, you can change how aggressive the sticks respond. So for shooters, I tend to do a smooth. So to test it out, if you click normal, go across the left, whiz that around, that's that. And then if we did smooth, and you can see it's a little bit smoother, it's just smoothing it out for you. And then once you've done tick that, you just go back, and then you can do the same with the right stick if you want. So if you wanted that more instant, so you run and you and back, left, right, so you can actually change what each individual one does, and then just have a play around, see what you think. I did try the instant one with Forza, and it was way too twitchy for me, so I found the smooth ones working really well so far. With regards to triggers, you can also go in and out, so if you press the right trigger, it will show you there. You press it nice and slow, like that, and then same with the left trigger, and then you can do it bit by bit by bit by bit if that's what you want to do. But what you can do is you can actually change the sliders. So you've got, basically it's changing your dead zones, so nothing will happen on this trigger. So if I pull it quite slowly, and you see them moving, and then until I hit that white one, nothing's going to happen, which is pretty cool. If I was to put my hair triggers on, so flick those down, and you see it's almost getting to the end, but you don't need it all. And the same for the right one, so that's as far as it's going to go. You can really press it, but basically it's saying that once you get to there, that's it. So if you want to mess around with your dead zones, you can. I tend to just leave them as where they are. It's up to you, it depends what you want to do. I'm not sure why you'd want to change them. You might want it so the dead zone's less at the end, I guess. So your dead zone ends about there, or probably there, so when you've gone past that if you're shooting someone. But the hair triggers are there, but that's there if you need it. You can tweak the vibration, so you can hear my controller going nuts, and you can actually minimise that if you want for the triggers, or turn it off. So the left trigger is the trigger, and the left main is the rumble pad in the middle of the controller, and just flick that up and down, and just go left and right. And once you're done, you're back out of that. I like it as it is. Finally, you can actually dull the brightness of the Xbox One button or logo on the controller there, so it's pretty much off. I guess you can do that to save battery life. I'm not massively bothered, if I'm honest. I'll leave it as it is. And then finally, just these last few bits here, you can tick these, and it will actually swap your triggers around, like I was saying, and invert your sticks and swap the triggers and whatnot. So that is it for the button mapping, and for the sticks, triggers and vibration, and that's about it. And then what you can do once you've done, is you can save that to slot 1 or 2. So if there's a couple of games that you play, you save it to slot 1, like I have done back here. So I've got Forza and Destiny at the moment, and once I'm on slot 1, it's Forza, slot 2 is Destiny. So it's pretty easy, pretty nice to do, and it seems to work really well. So if anybody's got any other questions or anything you'd like me to show you, please post it in the comments below, and I will be more than happy to show you any other bits with the controller. I'll probably do a few, there'll be very quick videos on my setups that I've got for Battlefront, for Destiny, and probably one for Forza as well, just so you can see what I've got and how I've set up my controller. So until next time guys, I hope you found this video informative. We're getting back on track now with the videos, so until next time guys, I'll see you all soon.